Mike Gallagher.
15 past the hour, continuing the Mike Gallagher Show. Joey Hudson in for Mike today. I invite you to join the conversation. 1-800-655-MIKE, 1-800-655-6453. You can text me on the MyPillow text line. Phone calls are welcome as well. Joining me on the guest line today, Congressman William Timmons from my home area, from the 4th District of South Carolina. Welcome, Congressman. How are you?
Joey, good morning. Great to be with you.
Always a pleasure. You know, you and I typically do Tuesday with Timmons. We had to delay that a bit. It's Thursday with Timmons today.
I'm okay with that because this is a little later in the morning and it makes for a much more enjoyable coffee.
I hear. Let's start with the most recent assassination attempt on President Donald Trump this past Sunday. The Secret Service says it needs more resources if they're going to be able to keep the former president safe. Evidently, during a phone call with President Biden earlier this week, Biden told President Trump that they needed more resources, and that would have to come from you guys, that Congress would have to approve more funding. Now, you serve on the House Oversight Committee. You guys are already investigating the July 13th attempt on President Trump's life. Talk with us about where you are on that and what you see as far as this most recent attempt.
Joey, it's sad and hilarious that we're talking about the most recent attempt. I mean, we're on number 2. How many more are we going to have? And, the fact that the Secret Service is saying they don't have sufficient resources, for the last 8 years, Congress has appropriated more than requested, in excess of the Secret Service budget request every year. This isn't hard. This is about their priorities. And, look, you go back to the initial attempt on his life from Crooks. Jill Biden conveniently had it wasn't a rally, it was a event she had to go to in Pittsburgh, and she pulled half of his detail away, and she was in a hotel. The risk profile was far lower, and I mean, she's really not a high profile target. So the Secret Service needs to prioritize Donald Trump. They don't need more money. We're going to give them more money. We're going to be voting on something tomorrow that will give them additional resources and that will mandate that both nominees have identical coverage. And that's going to take a lot of resources away from their other priorities. But this should be their number one priority. Keeping both Vice President Harris and President Trump, former President, future President Trump, and President Biden safe should literally be the only thing that they care about. And it's not that hard. We gave them $3+ billion. They need to do their job.
Yeah. Congressman William Timmons with me today. All right, let's go back to something you said just a minute ago, Congressman. You said that you guys had given them more money than they requested in the past?
Every year for the last 8 years.
Wow. And they say that's not enough.
I mean, we can only give you more than what you ask for. I mean, it's just kind of silly. But hey, look, there shouldn't be a budget for what it requires to keep the future leaders of our country safe. And that's not a partisan issue. We have a lot of Democrats that are just shaking their heads going, how are we still talking about this? I mean, the first time where he actually got shot in the ear should have been the wake-up call that the Secret Service heard. And then there's another shooter. I mean, it's really just, it's shocking. And I'm sure a lot of people listening are wondering if it's intentional. And, the thing that we're doing right now with this select committee to investigate the initial shooting, which again is ridiculous that we're talking about too now. That's a bipartisan effort to figure out what went wrong and whether there was malevolence or incompetence. And that's the question that the American people want to know. Was this just incompetence or was it malevolence?
Yeah. Congressman Timmons, you serve on the House Oversight Committee. You've been in the middle of this. Some of your colleagues in Congress, both Democrat and Republican, and you're right, this is a bipartisan issue because as much as I do not care for Kamala Harris and I do not want her sitting in the Oval Office, I also want her to be safe. And I think we all want that for our candidates. And a political nominee for a major party in the United States of America should not fear for his or her life for sure. Now, some of your Democrat colleagues have expressed outrage and surprise at some of the details that have come out in the investigation. Can you share some of the things that maybe have surprised you as you have looked into this?
Well, let's go back to what you just said. I mean, the fact that RFK, who was a nominee for a political party, was refused any degree of security when his father and uncle were both killed while being political candidates. I mean, that tells you all you need to know. But some of the details that we're looking at, Crooks was walking around for hours. The Secret Service was given almost an hour of notice that there was someone on the roof. The line of sight is just absurd. The issue is the perimeter and where they were going to secure, how far away, 300 yards. I can teach you how to use a AR and hit a target as big as a watermelon in an hour using an AR from 300 yards. It's not hard. I mean, it's not hard at all, actually. So, I mean, the fact that that was not within the perimeter is just silly. I mean, and there were people all around him. And it took civilians to be like, what are y'all doing? There's a guy up there with a gun. I mean, and they still let him get a shot off. It's just absurd.
Yeah, it is absurd, Congressman. William Timmons with me today from the 4th District of South Carolina, my congressman in South Carolina. Congressman, Fox News is reporting this morning that the FBI received a tip on Ryan Ruth in 2019. They also reported that between 1980 and 2010, Ruth had more than 100 interactions with law enforcement, from charges ranging from writing bad checks, felony firearms possession, possession of a stolen vehicle, multiple counts of a possession of a weapon of mass destruction. How did this guy, how did he slip through, and how was he at the fence with a gun ready to fire shots at President Donald Trump?
We have so many laws and so many resources to prevent people from committing crimes. And I just think the FBI continues to fall short. And I mean, again, is it incompetence or malevolence? That's the question the American people want to know, because there's so many signs that this person is a danger to the community. But every time that we have a tragedy happen in this country, there's always signs. And in many cases, there's warnings within minutes or hours before. And again, we just need to do our jobs better. We need to prioritize the safety and security of our society, not just our political candidates. I mean, all the Democrats want to change all the laws. They need new gun laws, different gun laws. I'm like, no, just enforce the law. Just enforce the law and do your job. And again, we give the FBI billions of dollars. We give the Secret Service billions of dollars. Do your damn job.
Yep. Congressman William Timmons with me today. One final thing, and I know you have to run because you have a committee meeting this morning. The Teamsters announced yesterday they will not be endorsing Kamala Harris. Now, they have endorsed the Democrat nominee for president since 1992. Do you think this is their way of sort of backhandingly endorsing Donald Trump? Because they did release their internal polling, which showed almost 60% of Teamsters support Donald Trump.
Well, that poll is all that matters. And on Election Day here, coming up in 47 days, the Teamsters are going to vote overwhelmingly for Donald Trump. And that tells you how bad of a job the Biden administration, how bad of a job Vice President Harris has done over the last 4 years. They're tired of them destroying the American dream. They're tired of paying more for groceries, not being able to buy a home they've been saving up for, paying more at the pump. They're tired of the weakness we show in the global community. They're tired of the wars, and they know that President Trump will fix all that. And that's why they're going to vote for President Trump in November, and that's why we're going to get our country back on track, because the American people are sick and tired of Democrat policies. It's as simple as that.
Yep. Congressman William Timmons, is always a pleasure. Appreciate your time this morning. Be safe and have a blessed day.
Great to be with you.
Sure thing, always. Congressman William Timmons from my home state of South Carolina, the 4th District. He is my congressman and serves on the House Oversight Committee. And as you heard him say, not only this objection from the Secret Service, they don't have enough money. He says that they actually have given them more money than they asked for, which I don't completely understand. But is money really the issue? Or maybe they just don't want to protect Donald Trump. Maybe it's a priorities thing. 800-655-MIKE, 1-800-655-6453. Let's go to the phones in South Dakota. Rich, welcome, Rich. How are you?
Thank you for taking my call. Congressman Timmons is part of the problem, it looks to me like, because he even told us it's not a matter of money, it's a matter of priorities. If that's true, Joey, quit funding them. Quit giving them more money. Make them be accountable. That's what the problem in Washington is these guys talk, but they don't walk.
Yep.
Have a great day.
All right, Rich. Appreciate your comment. 800-655-6453. Your comments are welcome. In Casper, Georgia, Wayne. Welcome, Wayne. How are you?
Hey, I'm calling from Jasper, Georgia, and I have.
Now, where is Jasper?
It's just south of Blue Ridge. If you've ever heard of Blue Ridge, Georgia.
Is that in the northeast corner?
Yes, northwest corner, kind of. And so anyway, I was calling to say, I see all these inquiries on Capitol Hill about the Secret Service not doing a good job, and the lady steps down. Well, there is absolutely no incentive for these guys not to gang up and be against our vice president or the previous president.
Mm-hmm.
They can be totally against him, not give him good protection, and then big deal, they get their hands slapped, they step down. They make more money in retirement than any average guy driving up and down the highway.
Yeah.
And they still get that. I mean, big deal. Nobody's going to know that woman when she walks into Kroger to buy groceries 6 months from now.
Yeah.
Nobody will know who she is. Nobody will know who the next leader is that's incompetent.
Yeah.
They get their hands slapped. They step down. Big deal. They live like kings for the rest of their lives, better than anybody driving up and down the highway.
Yeah. Just move on. Yeah. I get it there, Wayne. Yeah. Hey. I appreciate you listening in Georgia. Tell all your friends to tune in. You can. And by the way, if you're not joining us on the Salem News Channel, let me encourage you to do that as well. Just go to snc.tv. You can also watch it on Pluto and other platforms. But the Salem News Channel, we're very proud of what we're doing with the Salem News Channel. So I hope you'll join us there as well. You can also go to just mikeonline.com and click on Watch Now. But, Wayne brought up a good point there, and it's the big question. And when I was talking with Congressman William Timmons earlier today, when he said, hey, it's not a money issue. Now, that's a convenient excuse, I guess. And I don't want to get into this, just bashing the Secret Service. I know some Secret Service agents. They're fine people, and they're proud of what they do, and they want to do a good job in the rank and file agents. I think we have a problem like we do at all levels of the Biden-Harris administration and the upper levels of the bureaucracy that's holding them back. But it was interesting when Congressman William Timmons told us earlier that it's not a money issue, that they have actually given them not only what they've asked for, but additional funds along the way. He says that they're going to vote for more tomorrow. So it begs the question, is it really a problem of not having the financial resources, or is it an issue with priority? One caller a minute ago, haven't confirmed it, don't know that it's a fact, but talked about an event, I guess, that First Lady Jill Biden had attended, and they pulled all these resources off of Trump to cover her. Now, she needs to be safe as well. But I'm just wondering if it's not the idea that they don't have the money, they don't have the resources, they don't have the agents. It's just they're not prioritizing Donald Trump's detail.